I hesitate to say it's metallic crust, but it is hard and crusty. I think someone just completely cross-threaded the entire thing. Welcome to Duluth Junction Workshop. In this episode, we're going to take this 1980 or 81 Raleigh Reliant that my friend gave me. He wants to get it on the road and sell it, so we're going to take care of some minor issues with it. Now this was a lower end bike on the Raleigh Spectrum in the early 80s, but it's still pretty cool and pretty original. It's got a Stillwater bicycle license. It's got, this is actually a welded crank, so you can't pull the crank off the crankset, which is kind of a shame, but it's what you get with a lower end bike of that era. We have center pull brakes. I like those. And some nice new tires on it, and the wheels look pretty good. So the biggest thing that we're gonna look at right now is this derailleur kind of fell out of the dropout when I pulled it out of the car. So this type of derailleur actually slides into the dropout to locate itself. So we're gonna pull the rear wheel off and see if we can get this thing back in. It should slide right in. Derailleur looks pretty sideways, but that might be okay, we'll see. Okay, good, we have a pie plate. We got friction shifting, 10 speed. Let's see how it goes through the gears. Oh. Jeez, touchy, isn't it? Okay. So what I think we have is, since it's too far towards center line in first and too far towards center line in fifth, I think we need to adjust the entire cable tension. The derailleur is actually quite far from where it's supposed to be. It's at an angle, and then you can see the chain is going at a huge angle in toward fourth gear. So I think it's pretty close to where it wants to be. Actually, the hanger looks a little bit bent, doesn't it? You can see there pretty plainly this thing is not straight. That should be better. I'll get some light this time. All right, now we're not far enough over there. Oh, come on, out of there. And that's why you have limit screws. First, what's supposed to be first. Now the derailleur hanger can get bent if you lay the bike down on its drive side, even in the grass or something, if it hits the wrong way, or if you put it in a car without being too careful. So always lay your bike on the non-drive side whenever you can. Once you bend that derailleur hanger, it's really hard to tune. Oh yeah, there's first. Sweet. All right. And then if for some reason this gets knocked or slides at all, there's still a chance that this inner adjustment can come out. So I'm going to adjust the lower screw in until I see the derailleur move in. There. I'm going to adjust it back out. So that should mean that if this slips, the chain is not going to go right against the pie plate. Got the suicide bars up here and the normal drop bars on the hoods. So that's good to have both, but we're a little bit lopsided. Wheel's a little bit out of true as well, but I'm not sure I want to deal with that. Yeah, I probably should deal with it, shouldn't I? You can see by the cobwebs how long this... Oh, there's a live spider. There's a live spider. Let's get you outside, little buddy. Spider has been evacuated safely. All right, yes, many spider webs. So it's been sitting a little while. Let's take a look at these spokes. You can see how it goes up and down like that. Or side to side, it does have a bit of a wobble as well. We'll try to get both these out. Just make the thing ride really nice. The thing that I never understood about building wheels is that, you know, of course the lacing is pretty fun when you get the hang of it and it's really relaxing, but truing the wheels up can be a little bit more hard to grasp sometimes. So what we want to do is, we're doing the vertical truing here, so the wheel's going in and out. I want to make sure that when I screw these in, that it's not going to affect the side-to-side truing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tighten these up equally to each other. So I'm going to do a half turn here and a half turn here. And that'll bring it up, one on this side, one on this side. And that'll help me from distorting the side-to-side true while I'm trying to just deal with this one. The up and down. That's half. And this one is half. So I get a little bit from the right, a little bit from the left. And that should balance it out better. If the spokes are creaking for you, you can put some oil on them. I'll just keep going with this until it's reasonably in line. I think you want to go within a mil or two. It's a pretty good place to start. And I'm not too worried about this thing overall. Good enough for an old 10-speed. Let's pop this thing off and we'll get the wheel bearing done. We got a 13 mil cone wrench and a 17 mil regular. That was really easy to pull. Gonna get approximately 17,000 balls when this comes out, so let's see how it goes. It used to have grease, but it's got some wear marks. A lot of dried grease in there, but not a whole lot of wet grease. On the other side, again, a lot of dried grease, but not a lot of wet stuff. And you can see the balls are pretty clean without a lot of gunk on them. So we'll get those balls wiped off and get the inside of that bearing race wiped off. We'll pack the bearing race again and pop it back together. Just about perfect, no play, spins easy. Just put it back on the bike. Couple notes, I did give the rib a spray with brake clean just to get the grease off it. And before you go and hook up your tire, you want to make sure the tube is not doubled back in there somewhere. So this feels pretty good to me. And what goofy crap is going on here? We've got the shifter going around the brake cable and down. So I'm going to unhook this brake cable and we will straighten that out. I don't know if you can see, but the housing is actually cut up a little bit right here. Easy mistake to make, but we don't want to have people riding like that in the future. Let's see if the rear brake works. I can already tell that this is kind of messed up. Oh, she needs a little truing. We'll have to take this wheel off and give that the same treatment as the front. Unfortunately, this bearing is going to have to be gone through as well. We got to take this Sun Tour freewheel off first, and I don't have the tool for this, so let's run down to the local bike shop. Bike shop got this thing cracked loose pretty easy. Come off, and then the pie plate comes off. I do have a freewheel tool on the way, but they're still having some issues getting parts. Alright, so we'll just repeat the same process that we did in the front wheel, but we have this spacer here, and that's it. And the balls are pretty dry as well, so We'll throw some new grease in there. I'm not even gonna clean this out because it looks like the grease is fine. So we'll just add grease and get her back in. Okay, long side with the spacer goes in the side with the threads on it. You know what? That's fine. And that'll tighten up as you ride. So this, I actually want to throw a little bit of oil in this just to be safe, because I don't know, it spins pretty well, but I don't know how long it's been since it got anything. So I'm going to try something out. Looked online and it looks like some people use motor oil. So I think you can use a variety of oils, nice ones and not nice ones, but I'm going to try this out and see if it works, see if it does anything. I got 1030 oil here. I'm just gonna see if I can get a little dab in the gap there. Does it sound quieter to you? Bearing is greased, the freewheel is installed and lubricated. Now we have to true the wheel and center it. Got the wheel in, I got my lug nuts on. I got the wheel in, I got my axle nuts on. It's not a car, and it's actually running out pretty nice. It's obviously needs a little bit of fine tuning, but so it needs a little dishing toward the non-drive side, and otherwise a little bit of hop to take out. We'll just skip forward to when this is done. Alright, I think that's about good. We do have a slight jump in the rim. Where is it? Right here, where it joins up. It's where they welded it. So that gets a bit of a hop down and to the right, but I did my best there. It's always hard to get where they weld and pin it, but that looks good to me. Spins nice and true and quietly. You can see the grease in there, evidence that I did this work. I'll just leave that in. All right, let's pop this thing off and we'll throw it on the bike again. Perfect. And no catching on the brake pad. Let's see if we can get a new cable end on it. All right, that's safe. Next, let's just make sure the shifting is all working, and I have a feeling that I should clean the chain before I do that. So let's clean the chain now and we'll move on there. It's pretty messy. Whew. Man, that is nice. There are a few things more satisfying on a bicycle than a brand new chain or a newly cleaned chain. It's gonna be smooth, smooth, smooth. We only have 4 bearings left on the bike. I'm not gonna worry about the headset because it doesn't feel like it's loose and not that big of a deal. but the pedal bearings and bottom bracket are directly related to your pedaling efficiency, so whoever buys this would be probably have a better day if they were able to pedal faster. Let's take the loose pedals off, take the cranks out, and we can grease the bottom bracket and pedals. Oh, yeah. Okay. Come on now. Sweet. Pretty dirty. We're on the non-drive side now. This is a normal cup and cone bearing like anything else, but you need a special wrench for this, bottom bracket wrench. Now this is a 3-point, so I can use the 3-point side, I think. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. Comes right off. Probably shouldn't come off that hard, should it? That's okay. Wait a second, is this in straight? I think so. All right, we got our bearing there. That's pretty gross. It's got a lot of crap in it. So good, I'm pulling it out. Had a feeling I would need something. This one's righty-loosey apparently. Good to know. Also really stiff. That is actually hot. Feels warm coming out. These things definitely need the attention. I mean, there's almost no grease in there anymore. This one too needs some attention. Oh, that is just, I mean, that's hard crust coming out of there. I hesitate to say it's metallic crust, but it is hard and crusty. Yikes. Okay, one of these bearings had legitimately a lot of metal shavings in it, and it's very concerning. So try to press as much grease through the bearing cages as possible to get the old gunk out. Why isn't this starting? Seriously? Why is this not going in? Holy shit. I've been having a really hard time getting these things lined back up, but I think I know where the metal shavings came from. I think someone just slammed the bottom bracket in and completely cross-threaded the entire thing. I don't know if you can see that with the focus on this thing, but there are a lot of threads that have cross marks or hash marks across them. It's going to be really hard to get them back in. I might have to take this to a shop and get them to run a tap or a thread chaser through it just to make sure those threads are good enough, because it's wanting to run these things in sideways every time I go in, either sideways this way or up or the other side, or it's really hard. So we'll see if I can get that in. Otherwise I might have to bring it in. Nope. 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 It's official, it's cross-threaded, I can't get it in, so we're gonna throw this in the car and we'll get it to a shop and they can thread a new bottom bracket thread in there. I brought it by the bike shop tonight. They tried to put a bottom bracket tap through the bottom and they just couldn't get a purchase on any existing threads. So it's really, I mean, someone Cowabunga'd that thing in there before and there's nothing left. But I decided, you know, the bike is, it's not a high-end bike, but the rest of it is in good enough condition that it's worth trying to save it and keep it on the road. So we just threw the the bottom bracket back in the way it was, kind of sideways, and we'll go with that. So let's go adjust that bearing, get it all set up, and assemble the bike. Oh, close. Don't even need a lock ring on this sucker. Well, it's about as good as she's gonna get. Oh, come on now. Why you gotta be like that? Oh, bring her home. Let's do the pedals. Normally I wouldn't even touch these little buckaroonies, but you get some play and there's a nut on the end. And the nut on the end means that we can take them apart. Sweet, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here's a spindle. They're probably bent, whatever. Not gonna do the full deal on this, but check out the gunk inside. That's pretty nasty. Just wipe it down. Usually you just throw some MKS pedals on it and call it a day, but whatever. It's fun to fix things. Seems pretty good to me. One of those pedals was a little bit Cowabunga'd, but it went back together fine and the threads are still there, so I throw it back together. Let's just make sure this thing shifts all through the gears. Oh. Easy to get these a little bit wrong on the stand. What's it hitting? Brake. Okay, recenter the brakes. Hi, Nick. Cat likes it. Then we got 4th, 5th, and bring her back around. And we got our front brake. Cool. Let's go take it for a spin before it's totally dark out. Again, it is too big for me, but it's not a bike for me, it's a bike to sell, so let's see if this thing works. The seat post is loose, so that's good to know. It's not all that bad. Let's take it in and do some final adjustments. We already established that the seat post actually spins because someone hadn't tightened it all the way. And that's fine, you know, I get it. So we're going to... I tightened it a little off camera just to ride it a little bit more. But we'll take this out and just see how she moves. Oh no, that's not good. The seat moves on the seat post, but the seat post isn't moving. Should have checked that first. Honestly, it serves me right for being an idiot and not checking this before. Let's see if we can get a channel lock on here. Ow, jeez. Let's see if we can drop some wrenches first and get a channel lock on here, and It's not gonna move. There's no way in hell this is gonna move with this. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. It'll come out. Oh, someone spray painted it black. That's weird. Of all the random things to do to this bike, you know, like, why would that match or do anything? Anyway, that paint might have been what was helping it stick. All right, she's good to go. Next obvious thing we want to look at is this stem, and we want to make sure that goes up and down because that's pretty important for making the bike fit somebody. So that that's fine. Yeah, that'll work. Well, we got the seat post loosened up. We got the stem is confirmed to move, and that's about it. I brought this Raleigh Reliant in the garage with a derailleur hanging off, a bent derailleur hanger. We found out that the bottom bracket was pretty badly cross-threaded, but got this thing all tuned up and rode it down the driveway and back. It's gonna be a good commuter or, you know, ride to the bar bike for somebody, and I'm gonna throw this up for sale. This has been kind of a trial run for the first bike episode here on this channel. And if you like it, feel free to subscribe. I do a lot of mechanic stuff on cars as well. And keep an eye out for the other bikes. I got a hockey-related bike that you might find interesting, and I got a bike that's all made in America. So keep an eye out, and thanks for watching. Press on.